Welcome. I'm Noah, and this is Noah's Arts Entertainment. Thank you for tuning in tonight. The title of this song, whoa, I'm thinking I'm a songwriter as well, but that's not what I'm doing here. I'm supposed to be a host of the show, so let's see. Zoom, focus. All right, the title of this theme tonight is The Beating of the Bullies. And there's going to be some violence, but it's really not that much violence. You would think that there would be. But you see, the key thing tonight here is about discussing other aspects of self-defense, um, which is something that either you studied here in this life or you were a master at it in a past life. For you to inherit that, re-inherit that again, is probably a gift that you had, a talent, great skill, and it's called innate ability, right? It's an innate ability because the mystery is that, of course, I had not studied martial arts at that period at all, and yet I was able to turn their muscle, their weight, their strength, their power against themselves. So Tai Chi, a lot of these Taekwondo, a lot of these martial arts will show you exactly how to do that. So being that I had not studied at that particular age, so young and stuff, and so it's interesting how that happened. Okay, so again, I'm Noah. This is Noah's Arts Entertainment. This is a complete different theme. I have discussed aspects of this same theme in some other video. I don't even know, but I've made quite a few of them now, and I've lost track. And plus, I guess would be my 11th month doing this. So I've done what I can. I've tried to share what I know and what I've learned and what I've been educated, what I've been trained to do, what I'm skilled at, what I've experienced. Right? Because you don't learn everything in school, like they say. You learn it out in the field and out in the world when you experience all this stuff. And well, you either pass the test or you fail. And if I would have failed, I would have been dead many times before, but in this life. So now, the thing is here is, I'll start with the one, take this storytelling, right? I mean, I'm telling you a story about, it's a true story. It's just that it's all part of my national plan. It's the writing of the book that I've already started, and it's all part of the segments that I've already I'm going to include, and I have included that are going to be fully exposed once the book's out there. So recently I've been looking into a narration of ebooks, so it's called it's a voiceover thing. It's just you're a narrator. You're going to be the voice for that book, and you have to play different characters, unless of course there's only one character throughout the whole book, which I don't think so. So there's going to be you have to be able to be flexible with the voice and change it to whatever. And I can do that, but I'm not going to do it. And so, yeah. So that's going to be fun once I completely get in there. And I've already, it's like initiated, right? So it's a good thing, right? Otherwise, what is this? You forget it. Let's just go into the theme. You procrastinate. You procrastinate. You have create doubts, and there's doubts created, and the devil is always, Lucifer is always working overtime, and whether we want it or not. So during these dark times, I want to be able to just tell you a story about some of these things, these defeats. Mostly, the title is "The Beating of the Bullies," and what's exactly what it was. So I will start. So I want to be able just to be able to entertain you with a story, and it could help you. Maybe you can. It will resonate because maybe you had an experience uh, like mine, which is rare, but I suppose it can happen. And some of the chosen. And so, okay, so I'm gonna want to start. Want to make sure the music's not too take it down a notch, right? It's aggressive music because it's just kind of be aggressive. I don't know if you can even hear it now, but either way, as long as you can hear me, you can see me clearly, and you can hear me clearly. That's the principal thing here, right? uh, so, all right. So let's go back to let's say it was I was 12 years old. I'd say no more than 12, and no less than 10, somewhere in between. And I was already during that period of time, I started to get chubby, unless they gain weight, because wow, I really like a lot of pastries, and we grew up eating French bread, and I could eat a whole loaf of that. I would buy it at the wholesale baker because my father was a merchant, and let me establish this, right? He's a merchant. We have a store. This is how I'm going to get into this first story. We have a store, and we were one of the neighborhood stores there, and there was this guy, this kid. Well, I was 12, he was 14. That's it. That's it. And everyone was scared. I mean, he was like the devil. He was just. They were just scared that and frankly, I did never been like scared. But the thing is that yeah, I used to be able to be real careful about what I do and say and stuff, in front of him because it was the bully. All right, so his name was Mario, by the way, and so hey, one day he goes into my grocery store, my father's grocery store, and I'm the storekeeper. I grew up as a grocery storekeeper, and believe me, I would eat my father's profits, the pastry profits. I was nuts about donuts and all kinds of sweets, unbelievable, and French bread with a quart of chocolate milk. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I was doing it and getting away with it. My father would say, "You're eating me out of my profits." So, but hey, I was a good son. I surely was. God rest his soul. And so we went there, and I was by myself, tending the store by myself. It was a certain hour, I don't know, like noon, or it was like early afternoon. No one's around, and he comes in and goes behind the counter. He grabs a couple of packs of cigarettes, and I said, I just, I wasn't firm enough. So he took them. He just turned around and walked away with a couple of packs of cigarettes, you know, just like that. Okay. So another day he comes around and same thing again, same attitude, same aggression, same action. And here I am, okay, gee, don't. So then, all right. So then the third time, that's when I said, okay, that's enough. That's enough. You've taken me to where I needed to go. In reality, I really needed to go here because I needed to beat your ass, and I was going to not let you steal cigarettes from my father's store. You know, I was already eating him out of the profits. You know, and so I so he grabs the two cigarettes, the two, three packs of maybe four out of packs of cigarettes, and these, and I beat him to the outside of the store, the front entrance. You know, it was the front entrance, and we had a big pavement thing right in front. You know, as you step up the stairs, you'll see the steps. There was some steps there, and before you enter the store, and you could enter. There was two doors that would open. You know, and back then there were screen doors. There weren't glass doors or anything. And so I go outside. I wait for him to step outside. When he steps outside, I said, "All right, you're not going anywhere." And I started to stop him. And as I started him to, got in front of him, he swung at me with all this force, it seemed, because he was serious about it. And I was challenging him, right? So what I did is I went underneath his armpit, and I grabbed his wrist, and his own force allowed me to flip him over me down to the concrete, the pavement, flat on his face, and the guy was out. He was out, and I thought I killed him. I thought he was dead, and so I went inside and I grabbed a towel, a small towel, and I wet it, and I brought it out, and I flipped him over, and I put the towel right on his forehead, and he slowly, came around, and I thought, I said, well, he's going to probably get up swinging or something. Now he was very, very quiet, and he looked at me, and he was like in a daze. He was like in a daze. I guess he couldn't believe what happened, and I knocked him out. He was knocked out, and he got up quietly and he left. At that point, he said, would be my best friend. And if anybody messed with me, you got to mess with him. That kind of thing. And that happened more than once, this kind of thing. So that's the first thing that happened. It was funny because, again, it took, what was it, 15 seconds, 30 seconds to flip him over with his own strength. How did I know this? How did I know Tai Chi and this type of methods where you reverse their force? You turn it against themselves, this force, and you could do that spiritually too, but here we're talking physically, right? So, yeah, I just went like so with my right hand under the armpit. I got his wrist, and he went over. He just flew over me, and he fell flat on his face. And again, thought he was dead. So yeah, that's that story concerning Mario, and that was that simple. You see, that's what I'm saying. I posted it. It wasn't so much about the muscle, but it was more about the technique, the innate ability, the swiftness, the quickness. You have to think quick. You cannot panic. And I know he was trying to hurt me when he, forcefully, like so, try to go with the right hand, and it surely worked against him. Period. We'll move on to the second incident. Another guy that was popular with the girls, and again, during that time I was still chubby. I think it was the following year when this incident happened, and he was another bully. Everyone was scared of him. He was an asshole. He was a creep, but then he was popular with the girls. He was good at football, and but the thing is, the guy was he was a very physical type of guy, and more than intellectual. And so, so then, of course, So we had, I guess we had been playing outside and stuff, out in the gym or somewhere, and then we came back and take showers. So when we take showers, of course, we're naked, and this guy would go around with a towel, he would twist it, and then he would snap, just whip you with it, and that burns. You ever had that happen to you? Yeah, try it on. Have somebody try it on you. Just have them, you know, whip the towel and then just whip you with it, and it's unbelievable. The tip of it is going to burn you. Anyhow, he had never attempted that on me. That particular day, okay, did I say his name is Johnny? This one is Johnny, and he was again a very fit guy, very sports-like, and he's a bully, and pretty much everyone was scared of him. All right, so then that there, he decided to do the bad thing, which was whip me with the towel. Well, I was in the shower, and I was, of course, naked. I was butt naked, so it burns. It really burns when that happens. So at the moment when he whipped me with it like that, I went nuts. It triggered in me something like my adrenaline just went nuts, and I went at him. I remember something sort of weird, like a football player, and I hit him right in the chest, and he lifted. The force lifted him off the floor and flew back against the lockers. The lockers, of course, are steel lockers, and the whole locker thing just went back and it actually slammed against the concrete floor there in the gym and stuff. So loud noise. Coach comes in and he sees Johnny out. He's out because when I hit him again, I hit him with all my force, and I hit him like a football player, and I lifted him right in the chest. So what happened, I guess, is that not only did I cut his wind, but he also banged against the lockers and then banged against the floor. So again, I thought he was dead, but so he was out. He was out, and coach gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and brought him back. But when he asked who did this, nobody wanted to say anything, and I said I did, and he was like, "You did?" Because I was still a chubby kid at that point, but obviously he couldn't mess with me, and at least not piss me off. So yeah, and so he was surprised, and from that point on, he also says, if anybody messes with you, you're my friend. I will, support you. I'll defend you, whatever, So my right hand guy. So that was the second event that happened there with the beaten bullies. That's the title here tonight, right? And you know what? I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm thirsty, and I'm sipping on a beer. Okay, I never do actually. I'm not that good guy. Anyhow, so yes, again, what was that? That reaction? That it was a powerful reaction, and it only took 15 to 30 seconds at the most. The whole thing, that happened, and it was adrenaline. It was skill, it was innate ability, and there was not much violence, right? I mean, just that initial hit on the chest. Hey, and okay, so yes, this is what's been happening so far. It's happened in my life, and then we go into another age where it was out of. I believe it was in high school. Yeah, high school. this was all like, I think I was in the first fight. No, the first fight I was in the fifth grade. I remember I was in the fifth grade. And the second fight was I was in the seventh grade. And then I was in high school when there was somebody that was always trying to challenge me and trying to bully me. And of course, he didn't know that I had already beat two bullies before. And he had no idea because, well, so they were always jealous because I was the first one with long hair, let my hair grow. And I did get expelled. When the principal saw me, he was like, "Get out." And he told me to get out. And I went straight to the superintendent's office, who was dating my sister, my sister. So we took care of that. I was the first one that started the whole long hair stuff, so kind of had it down here, just down to the shoulder, which was outrageous for those times in that area. So, all right. So he was in a lot of jealousy about somehow. They would call us, these bullies would call me and a few friends of mine, they would call them queers, and that we were queers because, I don't know, because we actually were the ones with all the girls. Hello? Ding, ding. We were the ones with all the girls, yet we were the queers, and they're up here driving around in a car and being bullies, and in a gang form, like 4 or 5 of them in a car, and they wouldn't really fight alone, they'd fight all together, and that's the thing, that I was able to defend myself with 3 of them. I don't know how I did it, but the first one, I went to one of those places where you drive and you park and you go and you grab your chicken order, your fish order, or something like that. And it was back in the day there. And when I grabbed my order, I was on my way back to my car, and there was a car next to my car was full of these guys, these bullies. And so one of them called me over, and he wanted me to get close to the window, and I kind of saw it coming, so I quickly put my foot down, the food that I had, I put it on the roof of the car, and I grabbed this arm and I went down on this real quick, like it was just a quick reflex, because he was going to try to punch me. And I'm not going to allow that to happen if I can, right? So yeah, his glass was halfway down, and I almost, I don't know, fractured his right here where his elbow, and I pushed down on his forearm, So the other one comes out from the back, from the other side, and I had not really seen him until I felt him nearby. I saw him. I didn't see him. Well, I suppose I did see him. I felt him, and when he swung at me from the back, okay, he's going to attack me from the back. I just did sort of like this, and he hit himself on the hood of the car, and those cars were made out of steel. So he was like, ah. So, and the other one, I just he tried to get up from the back seat, from the back door, and I immediately slammed with my right leg the door. I slammed against his, I guess it was right around the shin area, and I just super hard. I just with super force. Again, the adrenaline takes over. Some innate ability happens, and so I never really got punched. Those 3 guys, I never got punched. At that moment, another car gets there, and they're friends of mine, but they're bullies, but they're on my side, and they knew my brother and stuff, so they defended me. They just says, "Go ahead, we take care of this." So I went, I left, and yeah, they took care of them, and so things like that happened. That was my high school thing. Later on, this is going to be my last one for now. This is the last one that I was still young. That's like 25, and used to hang out with somebody that was like 42, 45, and I used to hang out with older guys at that point, and and so the thing is, this person was a gentleman. He was um, mysterious dude, yeah, for sure, involved in stuff that I didn't know anything about back then. You know, I didn't know anything about Masons or anything. I just didn't know anything. But I just knew that I also required um, respect, you know, and understanding. So that's always been my way. And so yeah, we just he respected that, and I went along fine, except when he would drink. That's why I have bad experiences with people that just flip out. They're bad drunks, you know. I mean, I can have a couple of drinks. No one ever seen me drunk before, you know. But some people are, you know, nah, no, I'm not that person that, no. So then some of these people are really, really bad drunks, you know. And then the excuse is, well, I'm sorry, I was drunk. Oh, sorry, I don't remember that. I don't remember saying this. I don't remember doing this. I don't remember doing that and this and whatever. Uh-uh. That's out. That's out because draining. You're draining you of your spirit energy, and it's stupid to even argue with drunks. So that's not a good thing. Anyhow, so one day, again, that would happen every once in a while. He would go off, and he was also a Vietnam vet. And so he'd been through war and stuff, I guess flashbacks, between flashbacks and I don't know, the drugs that he would do and the liquor, everything kind of triggered and he flipped sometimes. So then he says, I just bought a new car. And he says, so why don't we take a tour of Mexico? I said, Mexico? I said, why? And he says, well, just, you've been there? I said, not really. I said, I went once. I was central Mexico. But harmonic conversions, I remember. Harmonic conversions, that was the year. Anyhow, so then, but that was it. And then, so we started out. I said, okay, fine, And he says, I'll pay for everything. Money's not a problem here. I said, yeah, I noticed. I mean, but anyhow, so we started to drive and we started to travel into Mexico and stuff. And we weren't that far in Mexico. And I think where we stopped at this place called the Plaza. It's like some countries call it Zocalo. And it's a place where it's in the middle of the downtown and everyone sits there. And it's like a fountain and people just congregate there. And it's fun. I mean, it's relaxing. And so there's some about 10, 12 guys that were there. And I noticed they had knives. They all carried knives because they were agricultural students. They all carried knives, and knives, it's good sized knives. It's like you could see them. I just think they didn't have to hide them or anything. So anyhow, they noticed us that we passed around the plaza thing. It's kind of a circle thing, like it, and they waved at us, say, hey, and so they wanted to get to know us. Or I said, golly, now that I said, now we've been spotted. And I said, the first thing I said, and again, this guy, I'm 25. This guy's about 45, and so we just became. They liked us, so they said we should have a beer together. So we went to a cantina, and yeah, a cantina, and we went there, and there was quite a few guys that went along with the whole thing. So it was a long, big table, and there was 10 or 12 of them, and it was only me and my friend, the one I had taken there, the one that had invited me to go there on tour using my car and going to all these different places all over Mexico. But that was kind of like the first stop. And this guy was already, he sat, my buddy, he sat at the end of the table and he ordered, I remember he ordered a bottle of brandy, and it was called El Presidente. El Presidente. They brought it, and then he, of course, started to drink. We're talking about shots of El Presidente brandy. And there was one guy out of those students, agriculture students, that said a lot of cuss words, fuck this, fuck that, this, that. And so he just gets up suddenly from the end of the table where he was seated, and he says, he points at him in front of everyone. He says, go to the bathroom, wait for me there, I'm going to wash your mouth with soap. I'm like, God damn. All right. So everybody looks at each other, and I look around, and I see what I see, and so then I was clever enough to be able to spot the most outspoken one, the one kind of like the leader of the team or somebody that they all liked. I chose him, and I said, "Can we have a word?" And I took him out, and we talked, and I told him that the guy I'm with, you met him when he was not drunk, and he was fine. You guys liked him. You liked me. You invited us to a beer. I said, so what happened now is that he drinks, and he goes into his flashbacks and all kinds of stuff, and suddenly he's the general and the generality, and he's this and he's that. I don't know, all that kind of stuff would happen, and I had to deal with it from time to time. And this is one of the spots that he put me in. And it was like, again, there was like 12 of them, all have knives. They could cut the hell out. I mean, they stabbed the hell out of us and just, I don't know, just go about their day, But of course, that didn't happen. I spoke to that one, one person. He was personable. He was, I guess, kind of like I could see he was bright. And I talked to him and I told him this. And I explained that this guy was a Vietnam vet and he gets goofy when he gets drunk sometimes. He goes on these trips, And then he understood. And I said, and suddenly everything, he told the guys to go ahead and go. And he hung up, he hung out with us. He still wanted to hang out with us. And I guess we did. I don't drink much, but that's what the thing was back then. It was just either hard liquor and beer or whatever else, but it was anyhow. The whole thing is that all right, so this guy gets super high. Suddenly he wants to he sees a girl, she's about 14 or something like that, and he wants to go ask her to marry him. I said, oh my God, man, I was just like blood away. And I said, Don, you don't want to do that. And he wanted to drive my car over to this girl's house, this 14-year-old, talk to her parents, drunk like he was. We go ask for his daughter's hand. It's like, oh my God, man. So he wanted to get the keys. And I didn't let him. And so we were in the kitchen. Here's the action part here, right? Again, didn't take much. Sorry to, it's not a whole action-packed thing because it didn't take that much violence at all. And so we're in a kitchen area, and there's a knife on the countertop, just laying there. And we both saw it at the same time. Okay. And so, hey, who had the quickest reflexes was going to get to it first. So of course, I wasn't drunk. I just immediately, quickly, swiftly, and accurately grabbed the knife. I grabbed him and I threw him like with this. I had his neck right here. I threw him against the wall and I put the knife right on his throat because I was already fed up with all this bullshit. He wanted to drive my car. My car is brand new and he's drunk and he's stupid. He's going to go do stupid things. I said, no, I don't want any part of it. And you're not going to drive my car. So I put the knife right on his throat. And I said, don't you fuck with me already, man. I'll fucking kill you right now. I really was serious. I had the fucking knife right on his, he was kind of like already starting to bleed. And he looks at me, a crazy fucker. He says, hey, you're all right, Noah. You're all right. You're all right, Noah. And it's like he saw that I didn't fear or that I was acted the way, I guess, like he expected me to act, I suppose, like a soldier or some sort. And of course, I hadn't been to the army either, but I had to defend myself in various times and various ways. So yeah, after that, I still didn't, I didn't give him the keys. He just, I said, take a taxi, whatever, driving it. And so he finally left. And so that was the end of the fourth, I think it was four. It was four. And I got to tell you one thing. There was an incident once, and this is a girl that had burned my poster. I had a poster-sized picture of myself, and hey, I was a narcissistic, egotistic, whatever I was definitely that because I had an entourage of women at that point, and now that I'm not, where's my entourage? That's why I figure it's because I take it to another level, right? But yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it? Because so anyhow, so I just I lost my train of thought. Now I was just be able to defend myself like that, and it was nuts, but that's what happened. That's a true story, and I'm glad that you were here to listen to it. I hope I didn't bore you in any way. This music was a little weird to what I usually play, but anyhow, another thing, if you want to ever hear me sing, some people do like the way I sing it. You can go to SoundCloud, King Noah, and SoundCloud. Yeah, and SoundCloud.com. The other thing is just here, view, look through the videos here, and there's different things for different minds and different ideas and different beliefs, because this started out as spiritual, esoteric science, and I've done in metaphysics, and I've done a lot of different things, And I think next time what I'm going to do is color therapy. That's one thing that I want to do, but I wanted to get all these type of classes together, metaphysics, chakra, Kabbalah, um, esoteric science, alchemy, all these things that I've studied that I can, share with you that are going to be basic things because that's all I'm going to do. And, but yeah, I had to try to still implement that someday soon. It's been my 11th month here. I thank you for being a supporter and a subscriber. I want you to, if you like this kind of stuff, and again, this is not just it, there's many variations many facets of me as a person. I'm also a musician, but that's another story, another show. Songwriter, another story, another show. Actor, voiceover, narration stuff. Yeah. But for here, this is Noah. I am Noah, and you've been viewing Noah's Arts Entertainment, and I surely appreciate you appreciating me, and I like if you like, you like, and subscribe. This way, everything that's new is going to be just automatically shot to you, and you'll never ever miss out on anything. And then, lastly, share. Hey, come on, man. I mean, it's like it's free, right? You just click, you share to other people that you think that they will, you know, resonate with this whole thing, with this whole realm of things. And like again, many variations, many facets. It's all there. Noah, I'm Noah. And this has been Noah's Arts Entertainment. I thank you so much for listening. You guys have an excellent evening. All right? Just be safe. Keep it, play the protocol. All right? Play the protocol. And may God be with you, with all of us.